Chapter 8. Integration. 11:30 a.m. I paused to ponder on what she had just told me. Though I felt somewhat confused, I could see the logic in what she said. But, although I wasn't particularly religious, I felt the conflict between all this and a lifetime of culture inherited from my parents and grandparents. She looked me directly in the eyes, as if to assure me that what she said was true, or at least the truth she believed in, but each of her statements raised more doubts. Then who is the one you called the creator?
I called him the creator because he was my creator, but he was not the creator of everything. Tell me something, who is the creator of a house? The architect or the engineer who builds it?
Well, from my point of view, it's the architect. The engineer just executes.
Exactly. The creator is the one who creates the concept, not the one who executes it. From the moment an idea exists, that idea can be realized at some point in the future. Ever since man looked at the moon, he wanted to go there. Jules Verne conceived a way for that to happen, and if you think about it, man got there in a not so different way from the idea Jules Verne had.
So you mean to say that God is the creator of the concept?
Of course. What the Freemasons say is correct. He is the great architect. Furthermore, like any creator, he is not dependent on his creation. Rather, his creation is dependent on him, or not even that. But that does not prevent him, in any way, from being credited with his creation.
I understand, but I still don't see where you're going with all this.
It's simple. In chapter 1 of Genesis, you have the description of the elaboration of the concept, of the plan, and as such, everything is planned from beginning to end, and it ends with the phrase that simply says, "And God saw everything that he had made, and, behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day." God's work on the universe ended there.
But in that case, if everything, absolutely everything, is included in that plan, from beginning to end, how do you explain free will?
Free will is inconsequential. Look at the universe. It was here before you arrived and will continue after you're gone. Do you consider yourself so important that any decision you make would change all of this? Do you think if the solar system didn't exist, it would have a significant impact? Do you think if the galaxy didn't exist, it would be noticed that much? We are inconsequentially small, and our problem is that we are too proud to deal with that smallness. We once considered ourselves the center of the universe, and yet we're just a small planet in orbit around a mediocre star on the outskirts of a peripheral galaxy. The universe was created a long time ago and continues its evolution until its disappearance. In the meantime, somewhere, there's us.
And that means?
It means that Darwin was right, that science is right, but that the Bible is also right.
She paused and let me reflect. Indeed, for someone who had eternity, creating the world in 7 days seemed rushed and absurd. The scientific discipline that defended and studied the evolution of species made complete sense, something that is still observable today. But then, what about the creation myth?
First of all, it's not a myth. If it was, I wouldn't be here in front of you. It's just a story told in light of the understanding possible at the time. But just think about this, if our species, Homo sapiens, has existed for about 300,000 years with all the capabilities it has, why did it take more than 97% of its existence to reach the first civilization?
I looked at her. Was it because of an external influence?
It was because of Yahweh.